Howdy, howdy, it's Grandma Michelle again, sending you a letter from Brazil. Oh, we've been going lots of places lately, and we've been passing through a lot of overflowing creeks because of all the rain. One day, Papa said we went through creeks 12 different times. Sometimes in the sandrail, I pick up my feet so they don't get wet. This past week, I tried to take pictures of all the people that we visit in their houses. Little Young and his family. Oh, he's got a lot of brothers and sisters. Mr. and Mrs. Antonio. She's Antonia and he's Antonio. And this sweet little girl, her name is Raquel. Her little brother, what's her little brother's name? Her little brother, Dudu. He's in the hospital. He's been there for a month. Do you know who this is? It's Nicholas. Nicholas? Nicholas, yes, that little boy that played with you when you came to Brazil. Well, he's not little anymore. And his daddy lives along the road that we take to Laje. We got to see him last week. Well, a lot of people out of school and on their holidays from their jobs, so we've had a few extra people going to Abreus this past month. Not every week. Sometimes it's just me and Papa, but this particular week, 2 weeks ago, we had a bunch. And we had a lot of kids, because kids like it when there's more kids. When it's just old people, the kids come and look, and sometimes they go away. I try not to feel bad. I try to just tell my story. I was talking about a verse here that we're trying to memorize. And we've been talking about the creation of the world. How God made everything in 6 days. Do you know about the creation of the world? It's always nice when lots of people go with us because then they can play the games. And Grandma Michelle doesn't have to. But you see who's out there with them. Papa Byron. Papa Byron had to play with the kids this past time. Sometimes Papa Byron has to do a lot of work to get us to where we're going. He made these benches so that when we get to our Bible clubs around Laje, there's a place for kids to sit. This girl is named Layla. She's been memorizing the verses that we do at our Bible clubs lately. We took a picture together. 2 weeks ago on our way back from Bajaca, we had something exciting happen. There was a couple of birds. There were more birds. And then there were lots of birds in a tree. Some kind of swallow they were. And they were swallowing bugs. There were lots of bugs around the tree, and these birds were eating them. Every Friday night in Laje, we have a group Bible study. Recently, we had a full house. But we had even more when we took some friends along for the ride. Mr. Luis Carlos and Dona Logicelia. First we took them to see some of the sights. We took them to see that cave where the little creek runs right through the middle. You've been there before when you were little. You probably don't remember, but that's okay. It's a really neat cave. Mr. Luis Carlos and Logicelia enjoyed eating their lunch at the mouth of the cave. That night on Friday, we had so many people on the front porch of the little house that Mr. Luis Carlos and Dona Logicelia, they sat outside looking in. And then some more people showed up and sat on the outside looking in, which isn't so bad because there aren't really windows. There's grates. See the grates? To keep the robbers out. Did you know that? That's what grates are for. The next day, after our morning Bible club in Bajaca, we took the nice couple to see a place called Rio campestre. It's a place where lots of big blocks of rock, really square. It's almost like a giant slab. And the water coming down from the rain in the mountains makes little waterfalls. It's a very beautiful place when there's water from rain. There are also some pinturas rupestres, wall drawings. They're like cave drawings, but they're not in a cave. They're on a wall. A lot of the native peoples from Brazil's history didn't paint in caves. They painted on the side of cliffs, rock walls. I think they had a pretty good time. It's a very beautiful place. Maybe the next time you get to come to Brazil, we can take you there too. Then we tried to take a selfie, which isn't a selfie when you're in a group. I guess it's a groupie, but anyway, it was kind of hard. Grandma's not real good at those things, and Papa was making lots of jokes. On Sunday mornings, in the big center part of town, people set up tables and they have what's called a free market day, Mercado Livre. Anybody that wants to can put their stuff out on a table to sell it. Most of it's fruits and vegetables. Sometimes Grandma and Papa set up, that's me, you know, and Papa, we set up a table and sell Bibles. Recently we bought a nice big green cabana tent so that we don't have to sit in the sun. I think Mr. Louise and Mrs. Largicelia really liked the market. We also took them by to see a man that can't hear, and he's never learned a lot about sign language. He lives in a house out in the country, but not too far from Sobradinho. We took Dona Largicelia, Mrs. Largicelia, to meet him because she is a sign language teacher. Mr. Louise played with the children from the house while we were all talking. Well, before I tell you goodbye, I want you to pray for little Raquel and for her brother Eduardo. His nickname is Dudu. She's at home and lives in this house along our route. He's still in the hospital in a place called Recife. Would you pray for him to get better so he can come home? I think she misses him a little bit. Well, think of us as we think of you. Sometimes I pray for you as we drive down dirt roads. Pray for us as we stop and talk to people and try to reach more people with the good news about Jesus. We love you, and we can't wait to see you before too long. Ciao, ciao. Eu te amo.